Welcome to Neutral Voices. I'm Dr. V, and this is In Depth, where we dig deep in the trenches of what matters. And tonight, we're going to be talking about the richest black people, I'm going to say in the world. Can I say in the world?
In our world, yeah.
At least
it's
that?
in our world.
Okay, but listen. So what I'm really doing on the low is I'm extending Black History Month.
Go ahead.
Just a little bit, if that's all right with y'all.
I'm with it. They ain't give us enough days anyway.
I'm just
Let's steal a
saying.
few.
We're going to steal back,
Yeah,
what,
steal a
about
few.
4 days?
Yeah, we're going to steal as many as we can.
I'm just gonna say, why we gotta say Black History Month? Let's
Well, that's why I said, so we're going to extend it.
Yeah.
So we're going
It's Black History
to
for life.
continue.
Yeah.
Yeah. So kind of like Labor Day,
Labor Day.
if you will. You know, some people break the rules. Have you ever heard somebody say no white after Labor Day?
Yes.
Do y'all retire y'all white?
No.
Or y'all just keep it going?
Keep it going.
That's the best time, like, to wear it is during that time of year.
To rebel.
Yeah.
I do the same thing. I mean, so everybody up here?
Yes.
You're not
Absolutely.
listening to it. Okay, I got you. Okay, so then y'all don't have a problem with this. So that's good.
Right.
So what we want to talk about, though, is this money.
Money.
Because it's a lot of money out here, and it's a lot of money in some black people pockets that we don't think about. We
trying to
don't
get
talk
there.
about. And so let's talk about that and how did they get all of this money? So so at first when I was thinking about it, I'm thinking a lot of money is 500,000, 800,000 until you start realizing how much some of these people make
Right.
per day
Right.
and per year. So let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Who you got? Who we want to start with? Because I know we got a lot of names.
Well, I want to go historically. I just want to go historically a little bit. And this young lady, in today's standards, she would still be rich. But at the age of 11, she inherited an oil field. Not just she was part Creek Indian and part African American. And her name was Sarah Richter, and she lived in Oklahoma. Yes. And it's a tragic story as her information goes on. But at the age of 11, she was considered the richest black child in the world.
Wow.
And at that time, she was worth well over $1 million. So if you equate that now,
$28 million.
it'd be $28 million plus.
And what year did you say? What year?
It was in 1908.
Okay.
I think 1908. Mm-hmm. And the sad part about it is
1913.
1913?
Yes.
Yes. And the sad part about it is, though, and a tragic part is that the state of Oklahoma had her deemed as being white so she could afford the privileges. They didn't want want a little black girl to be the richest. So they had her classified as being white.
Seriously?
But okay,
Yeah.
while you're saying that, what was her complexion then?
She was a lighter skin complexion because, again, she was mixed with Creek Indian and African American. But the state of Oklahoma had her deemed as white because they didn't want her to be a rich black girl.
That just
She was a little dark skinned.
Yeah.
She
Well,
was
we only see the pictures, so we don't know how the pictures were.
the pictures you're right. but the
according
pictures
to
are-
those pictures, she had some good melanin.
Yeah,
Yes.
she had plenty of it
All
in
right.
there.
It's wild.
Okay, that's definitely interesting. 11 years old. So you said something that's interesting and that I would say holds true to a lot of people that's wealthy. Mm-hmm. You said inherited. She inherited.
Yes, she inherited
her wealth.
through
No,
her.
No.
Well, from her parents, because her parents died. Her parents had
Passed
bought
it
the
down.
land.
Okay, he got something. He about to rebuttal
from
this.
what I read, I'm just gonna go by what I read.
Come on, because that's the only way we can get
They
it. We got to do the
gave her
research.
that land because that was part of their tribal land.
Yes,
And
part
it
of
was
Creek-
given to her because her parents had died.
Right, so
but it wasn't her parents' property.
Yeah,
Passed
The
it
Indians gave her that property. They gave her that. Well,
Okay.
the state gave her to because they thought it was a wasteland, basically.
Okay.
It was
So-
just something. They said it wasn't worth nothing. And then
So they okay, here, take it. You can have
this,
it.
Yeah, you can have this. Take that.
Okay.
And
it was an oil field.
it was an oil field, and they didn't even know.
Wow, look at that.
So they gave her
Look at here.
an oil field, thinking it wasn't worth anything.
See
Yeah.
what they said? One man's trash.
There's another
Man's treasure.
But
Look
that's
at
a
that.
good point. We were talking the other night about how when you think about someone with all of these zeros behind their name or their net worth, your mind goes to, okay, well, they inherited that, or they, that was left to them by rich parents. So I found it interesting that actually 79% of millionaires did not receive any of their riches through generational wealth or an inheritance. That's a big.
That's a big number.
Right.
It is.
That's a big number.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I would. definitely think it was.
I'll be like Steve Harvey though. When I hear that, I'm gonna spend it. My kids ain't getting nothing.
Wow.
If I was, I would pull a shack on my kids.
Now what's that? So enlighten the audience, please.
Shaq said they can't get none of his money unless they have 2 degrees.
He did say that. Bring me
They
2
can't have
degrees.
none of his money unless they have 2 degrees. He have 2 degrees, so they got to get 2 degrees to get any of his money.
Okay. All about
And
education.
he always tell them, "I'm rich, not you."
Not you.
Okay,
But I'm being Steve
Daddy.
Harvey. I'm spending it all. I earned it. I'm
Okay.
spending it all.
So rich, wealthy. Is there a difference between rich
is a
and
major-
It's
wealthy?
a major difference. It's a major difference.
Okay. When you say that,
Well,
what does that look like?
Well, rich is any of us can be rich today.
Okay.
And rich is also determining how you live. But being wealthy is something that you're never going to get rid of. When you're wealthy,
And-
that's going to go. Like Rockefellers are wealthy. They
Yeah.
still got money going on.
Would you agree then that, because when I'm thinking about wealth, I think I connect wisdom to wealth. It's like, it seems like these people now, you rich, you have some money, you blow some money, you do whatever, right? But when you're wealthy, it seems like you're a wiser person, and now you know where to put the money and where to invest money and things like that.
Yeah, wealthy people, money works for them. They don't work at all.
Not for the, yeah.
Their money works for them.
Yes.
They learned how to make their money work for them.
So
they don't have
Yes.
to get up and go to work or do anything. They probably make more money in their sleep,
Right.
than most people make. Well, majority of the people make in 10
Working
years.
hard day to day.
Yeah,
every,
you know what I'm saying.
8 hours
And
a day.
rich, and like you said, rich people
Yes.
they like to. One of the things I read was interesting about wealthy people. They don't even show they wealthy.
No.
Yeah, that's exactly true. That is so true.
They don't even show they wealthy. They could walk right by you and be just as
That's
loaded,
right.
and they look just like a normal person.
Yep.
Steve, what's the boy name?
Steve, you sound like you was going to say Steve Jobs.
Or Warren Buffett.
Warren Buffett.
Warren Buffett. Eat at McDonald's every morning.
Yeah, and guess what he drives?
But
A 1996 DTS Cadillac. Every day, everywhere. He shops at Walmart.
That's why he's wealthy. That's what, like.
I mean, he's like, why spend if I don't? He's at the Gucci pants, Walmart pants,
They're the same pants.
same pants.
pants are pants.
Pants
Yeah.
are pants.
Yeah, I like that concept because like a lot of people are label shoppers, and I'm thinking, what are you gonna do? Like turn your collar out to show the name so people know what you're wearing. You know, you have some people that they will not buy anything unless it had a certain label.
Right, and
You
a lot
just
of
have
those
people
people
like that.
are behind on their rent, behind on their,
That is so
it's
true.
just
Anyhow,
like-
they mad at you right now, but that's true.
I mean, it's true.
That's for another show. We will revisit that. just that as far as where your money goes. So one of the things as we get into our next few people here is how they get this money. What is it? So as you kind of talk about the people that's coming up. So just thinking about that so that we can hear a little bit more about their background, the mindset of these individuals. So what about Robert Smith?
Robert Smith. So I did some research on Robert Smith. And first of all, he was the founder of Vista Equity Partners. He founded it in 2000, the year 2000. It has $96 billion with a B dollars in assets. That's the company itself. This year, 2023, Forbes said that Mr. Robert Smith was worth, Clarence, you got a guess?
What is $9 billion?
$8 billion dollars. So the interesting thing, so his company focuses on investing in software companies. So obviously that's something that is always going to be prevalent and relevant. One of the things, like which you said, as far as their history, what do they do with their money? Was their money inherited? So something I found very interested is Robert Smith, in addition to all of his money, has a passion for helping people.
Yes.
He actually got that. He wrote in an article that he watched his mom send $25 every single month to the United Negro College Fund, no matter their financial situation. So she really taught him how to invest in your community, how to invest in your culture. And something that stuck out to me that was massive is in 2019, he went in and paid off student debt for that class, the graduating class, totaling $34 million for 400 graduates.
What school?
That celebrate.
At
Morehouse College.
I know
HBCU.
that was
He
amazing.
supports HBCUs,
He
I mean,
does.
greatly, yes,
And
he
you know
does.
what, Jill, and you talking about him like that. Fortunately, I was able to meet him. He is very, very, very nice and down to earth.
Yes.
So, so it's one thing when you have all this money and you get to this place, this platform where you feel untouchable. And, I don't know what Tyler Perry really would be like, but it seems like Tyler Perry, would be one of those people too. But when I met Robert Smith, I was really surprised that he was so down to earth.
And one of the things, and Jill was talking about his background, he talks about, being poor, and one of the things is that's why he invests, because he didn't want to. It wasn't like he set out to be a billionaire. It just, his fortune just grew, but he just didn't want to be poor anymore. And I think that's a lot of things that you have to.
Well,
look
you better
at.
watch out for some stuff he probably got his hands in, because he shared a lot of stuff about some high tech.
Yeah.
I'm saying IT and all of that other stuff we were talking about at one
he got a lot
point,
of
where the
software.
future
Yeah.
is going. Yes.
Well, something that I found awesome too that he talked about was he was always persistent. So when he was younger, when he was actually in high school, he wanted to be part of this internship at a place called Bell Labs. They wouldn't let him in. They said, you have to be a college student. For 5 months, he called once a week, every single week, until they finally said, you know what, and they accepted him into the internship. And that's actually what got the ball rolling. But he didn't quit just because they said
Persistence.
you
Right.
can't do it. So persistence is a big part of his story. So
Yes.
he gave a lot of his money away.
That's good.
That's how you get wealthy.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
stay at it.
Yeah.
That's how you get wealthy. You get
Make-
rich just doing something fast. If you want to get
Yes.
wealthy, stay at it.
Yes.
Can't give up.
So that's good to take notes. So anybody taking notes, this is Neutral Voices. Thank you for hanging out with us. We're talking about the richest Black people in America tonight. So with that being said, and you gave us some good information, and we talked real good about him. I just want right now for us to go into, y'all know it was a lot of couples, and I know some of them got divorces, and we're
Right.
not going to talk about them because
Right.
we talking about Black people tonight. Let's talk about Robert and Sheila.
Yeah, Bob and Sheila Johnson.
Who were they?
Well, Bob and Sheila Johnson, Bob Johnson was the founder. He founded BET and all the BET products, and he was a billionaire. And Sheila, being a wife at one point in time, she was actually considered the first woman billionaire in the United States. So he owned the Charlotte Bobcats, he owned BET, he owned a lot of other things, but
Are
he ended
they
up
still?
selling BET.
Okay, I was
to
gonna ask, are they
Viacom,
still?
and so they're not the owners of BET anymore. So as E was talking about, we came on, we found that somebody had replaced him on the list. E.
Yeah, it was David Stewart. And, I mean, he's number 2.
Just replace them as far as in rank.
In rank,
Is that
yes.
okay?
In rank,
Okay.
yeah, in ranked. He's number 2 richest black man in America. This brother owns the IT.
And what's his number?
$6 billion.
$6 billion.
Brother's worth
Six-
$6 billion.
okay.
Yeah.
He owns the IT firm. I just had him up. Yeah, where did he go? There you go.
Lost it.
Yeah, he owns an IT firm, and in America, he's the largest owner of business of the IT. Let me slow down.
Yes.
He owns the worldwide technology.
Okay.
That's his name of his business, Worldwide Technology.
Worldwide, one of the largest African American owned businesses in America. It's
I heard about that, but I
Gotcha.
never knew that that was a black company.
Yeah.
That's something I learned right now today. I
I
that.
heard about the company until I didn't know this.
I didn't know it was a
either.
black company.
Yeah. Okay. Now I don't just want to go back to this, but I do want to just make sure. So you said, the Johnsons, they were the owners of BET?
Yes, they were the owners
Network.
of BET Networks. Because
Okay.
when he left it, they had, I think what we see is BET now. So if he had kept it, he'd be in a, because Tyler Perry make.
That's what I was getting ready to say. I
want.
wonder. Well, and that's what and I didn't study the history of these two. So between, as far as Robert and Sheila, they were married. Are they?
Yes, and they're still married.
Okay, I was
they're
just
still
wondering if they
I
were.
thought they got a divorce.
No, they're still married.
And so the
They're
only
still
reason
married.
I brought that up, so
You'll never
married or
have to fact
divorced,
check that one.
I was just because didn't we not long ago we talked about somebody that was rich and they got divorced and they still stayed cordial in business and etc.
Well, they had to because that was Bill Gates and his wife.
Okay, so that's why I was just wondering with these. That's why I was just wondering with these two if did a divorce cause them to have to step down from it, and then they sold BET, or they just said we were just done with it.
He just sold it. I mean, Viacom made him an offer he couldn't refuse.
Okay, gotcha.
And he went off to different ventures. That's when he bought the Charlotte Bobcats.
Okay.
MJ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he sold it to MJ.
Yeah, MJ was his partner, and he bought him out. MJ bought him out.
And MJ would be
Michael Jordan.
okay. I just want to make sure our
When
viewers,
you-
listeners
when-
know who
when-
MJ.
When people say MJ, them initials, they know who we talking about.
Mary J.
No,
Oh, okay.
Michael Jackson is dead. So
Mary J.
you know,
Well, but speaking of networks and TV, so that's why I was just I'm thinking BET. It was pretty. I mean, it's pretty big now.
Right.
So I'm saying back then when they sold it, obviously it was worth a lot of money.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that's what kind of for Oprah. I would say that's what really, took her to a whole nother level when she started purchasing networks and things like that. So not just the Harpo Studios.
You read my mind. You must have saw my face.
I
I was like,
did.
she make a lot of money off of you. Told Harpo to beat me.
Yeah, but not just Harpo Studios. But I'm saying, so she has some other stuff. But I just want to say real quick, of course, the richest woman in entertainment. Now, I want you to process how many women are in the entertainment business.
Right, a lot.
So just that right there.
Right
I
there.
just needed that to marinate a little bit. Okay, that's Oprah Winfrey, and you're talking about $2.6 billion. But what I thought was amazing. So her networks, of course, and then she had Oxygen Media, catering. She had the Angel Network, part of her charity. Of course, everybody knows Oprah has the book club and all of that stuff. But wrap your brain around this. Oprah makes $863,000 every day. Now, factually, that's more than a lot of people will make in their lifetime.
Yeah.
Is that?
Did she still have the magazine too?
I'm talking about,
The old
I'm just
magazine?
saying, just you think about that. And then she makes, watch this, $315 million per year.
She's still single, right?
no.
I'm just saying, is that crazy?
Stedman's still there.
Hey, he ain't put no ring on it. Oprah, I got a ring. Call me. It might be a recycle ring, but Oprah, call me.
Oprah
I got a
don't want to be
ring.
married.
I got a ring.
But we
She
were
gonna make you
talking.
sign that prenup.
We were talking about some things that kind of what stimulated their success.
Well, Oprah, and I remember her story, and I think you remember it too. Hers was like Bob Johnson. She got rejected. They told her they didn't want her on TV because of her hair, the texture of her hair,
Her color
the
of her skin.
her weight,
Yes.
all of this. They told Oprah, you will never be successful
Right.
in TV. But look at her. She stayed persistent. She made it happen. And, and look at her now.
And so one of the things she contributes to her own success is she's not afraid to take risks. And I think that's real big. You can't be you can't be afraid. And she didn't care what they said about her. She knew what she wanted to do.
Yeah.
And so she figured, hey, what's the worst thing happen? It fails. And we just try it again.
And
We do
it's
something
funny.
else.
It's funny that, because of her skin color, because of the texture of her hair, that they said now she is the richest woman, not black woman, not white woman, but the richest woman in entertainment.
Yes.
So that tells you that, what God has for you is just for you.
Absolutely.
Because, nobody could have made her or stopped her if she, but they told her you'll never be successful. Your weight, your color, all of that. But look at, she made it all work for her.
Yeah, so I love that. And then so my other favorite, Riri, since everybody wanted to dog her out after her Super Bowl performance, which I thought she was beautiful and did a great job, especially under the circumstances of expecting. And so,
I still gotta watch that. I still haven't seen.
oh,
it.
you didn't, you missed it. So now think about this. So of course she is a lot younger than Oprah, but I just wrap your brains around her numbers, 1.7 billion.
1.3.
So what will you stop saying if he don't get out of 2022?
Honestly, no. I'm rereading.
what did I tell you?
I'm rereading a whole nother article.
Listen, America,
See, you don't
look
wanna
at
listen.
it for yourself.
That's a whole nother article.
She has hit a different number, $1.7 billion.
At the beginning of the year, when you said it was 1.7 million,
It's
it
1.7.
dropped to 1.3.
Don't be trying to come for Rihanna.
I'm not coming from Rihanna.
Talk
but
about
I
where
mean,
she
if we
dropped
gonna talk
at
about the
as
fact-
since we started talking
Don't you
about.
always say we got to be factual?
She gave it to Kanye, probably.
Nah.
But
But what I wanted to say about Rihanna is what's fascinating about Rihanna and Oprah. They're both self-made.
Right.
So no one handed anything down.
how does she make her money?
Hard work. And you know she has the song. And I'm getting ready to get up and perform it. No, I'm just kidding. But work.
Yeah.
I saw an interview and she was talking about you have to work hard. She has different things going on. She has her perfume or makeup. She has,
Makeup.
yep.
What's that?
So the Fenty, which is her last name. I'm just saying, so she does a lot of things. But I just wanted to make sure we understand these things real quick about Rihanna. Youngest self-made millionaire woman in her country. The wealthiest
Jamaica.
female, Barbados.
Barbados.
Wealthiest female musician in the world.
About
And-
Beyonce.
Yes.
Wealthiest female
I'm just
musician.
asking.
I know. I'm saying it
I'm
again.
just
I'm saying it
asking.
again. I'm saying it again. And one of the richest singers in the world.
Okay.
Yes. So I mean, it just listen to it. Supermodel. I'm gonna call her a supermodel because this is a singer, dancer, actress, entrepreneur, music producer, fashion designer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
here's the
So
funny
she has
part
a
about
lot going on and
This
working
is-
hard.
It's another reason why she's so rich.
He
You know,
about
she
to-
owns her own masters.
That's money right there.
That's money.
That's money right
She
there.
owns her masters through her songs.
Yes.
So, man,
She is
that's
amazing.
That's huge.
That's huge. Being as young as she in the industry, I know that's a huge thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, we can't end this without talking about your boy.
Kanye.
Yee.
Now, and I wanted to save this because you asked the question earlier. How do you go from? But what's the difference between being rich and being wealthy? Now, wealthy again it's generational and it's something that can continue to go on. But rich is a whole nother thing. Now, Kanye wealth it's been subject in a lot of ways lately because you remember he left Adidas, he left Balenciaga, he left all these companies.
He ain't leaving. He got kicked out. Let's go.
Well, kicked out, and they said his wealth in 24 hours. Kanye went from $2 billion to like $700 million.
700 million.
Between $400 and $700
That
million
sounds like a
dollars.
big.
That's a big.
That's a big drop.
That's a
It
big
is.
drop. So it made me question how do they calculate or how do they figure out the wealth? You know, what do they consider your net worth and your wealth? Now, it is not all liquid money, and it is not all positive either. Your wealth is based on a lot of factors. It's what you do have in assets. It also what you have in potential money coming. So that's what's the difference between rich and wealthy. Rich, you probably got your money. Wealthy, you have potential money coming.
It's still coming in.
I was
still
going to say
coming out.
residual
You know,
income
residual,
still coming
residual
through.
income. It also factors in, your negative, your debt. So all of those things are factored in, and also, so Kanye's was his wealth, and that's why it made me understand it. His wealth fluctuated so much because they were projecting his wealth. Because there's no way he had probably $700 million that he was more accessible to, but the 2.8 was it or 2.5 billion dollars at the one time with all his deals and everything, they were projecting that he was going to be worth or his wealth was 2.5 billion dollars. So that it's a lot of and a lot of people that are wealthy, they don't have money.
So before you go there, Jill, because I want to go into some of the stuff that you have. So when you're saying that, you make me think about, I want to say the number of blacks compared to other cultures when it comes to not just billions, et cetera, but rich or wealthy, et cetera. So, Jill, what do you have
I do have some
with that?
stats on that. So there are 22 million millionaires in the U.S. And just a breakdown, we're not going to go through all of the cultures and everything, but out of all of those, 8% of those millionaires are black. So I also have some other interesting statistics. So globally, so this is all over, millionaires control almost 46% of all of the wealth. So basically about half of the wealth. 79% of millionaires did not receive any kind of inheritance or handouts, as we were calling it. 80% of millionaires grew up in a family at or below middle class level. And just 8% attended prestigious universities. So I thought those were very interesting. Yeah, because it's not really what you think at surface level when you think of a millionaire.
Right, and there's some other stats you could put on there. I definitely wasn't bringing it to the table tonight, but I thought it was interesting that a lot of women, not black women, but a lot of women that are billionaires or wealthy, they're wealthy because of the divorce. And so, yeah, that kind of leaves some women, ladies.
You trying to tell her marry for money? That's what I'm trying to get with Oprah.
No, ladies, don't do it. No, I was getting ready to say, don't do to Mary J. You know what her husband did to her. I'm just saying, you got to be careful with that, scaring me.
If I were to hit the money and get it and not get married, you signing a prenup, baby.
I was just...
You sign on the dotted line.
So that's why I mentioned that. So
sign
do you think? I'm just saying these people. Do you think with that much money would you be thinking about a prenup for real?
Yep.
I'm just saying you in love, E. You in love.
And
you can't be thinking about money.
Here's the thing about it. If I had the money before I met you,
well.
There's no way. There's no way you finna get half because we ain't got a divorce. I had this way before I met you. Let's get on, Ma. You come with your game. This what you do. You gonna come. You gonna leave what you came with. Not in the stuff I brought you. Well, you can't even have that. It's mine.
I'm not even going to talk about a prenup. I'm going to talk about culturally. Yeah. We talked about these billionaires that are black billionaires. There's a lot of millionaires and a lot of black billionaires, but where are we that we in our communities, we can't bring our communities together. We can't invest in our communities. So at some point, we got to stop looking past our own dollars and start looking at the community aspect of, because sometimes a blessing don't just come to you. A blessing will come through you.
That's right.
So we got to, we got to start putting back into our community.
But you know what? And we keep on saying we got to start. And the thing is, what you're saying is absolutely right. And we're talking about these people with these billions, but not even going that high up. What about the people that become rich?
Right.
So we can just stay right there. The black people that become rich,
right,
and they leave their community. So you go to college, you go play for the NBA or whatever you do. You can return and invest in your community, but we're always looking for someone else to come into our community and make it better.
And I'm not saying that all don't, but if you look at the scale, the scales doesn't look like the majority do.
That's right.
So I mean, we all got to come back, and there should be some reinvestment into where you came from.
That's right, and not to pick on anybody necessarily black rich people in our community, but I do have to ask the question: are you doing what you could do to make our community better, even if you chose? Even if you chose to move out west or away from the south side, are you doing anything to pour back into your culture or your community? That's a question for all of you rich black people out there.
All Are you?
I will. Trust me.
Listen.
Trust me. As soon as I
Yes.
get it, I'm sharing. I'm
Okay.
telling you. We moving on up.
Moving on up.
All of us.
Okay. Yes, I
got a
love
dollar
it.
for all of y'all.
So, yes. So this is Neutral Voices, and we want to say thank you for hanging out with us. Tomorrow night, we have something else going on. What are we
Respect
doing?
the Game coming on tomorrow night at 8:30. Respect the Game.
Respect
It's a
the
new
game.
look, Respect the Game.
All
So
right.
come check us out. It's
Please
a new look,
tune
Respect the
in,
Game.
and as we always say,
Always protect your mind.
see you next time.